soon. Just be lovely because it's going to start recording probably now. But I want to close something first. Well, hello again, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I am your host here today, Chantele Francis. Up top, I have with me Brazil. Say hello, Brazil.
Hello, everyone.
And the purple hair queen down on the bottom today, we have Nicole. Say hi.
Hello, and I do hope everyone loves my shirt today. I did give.
I love your shirt. It's perfect. Where'd you get it?
This is gonna be a very hot topic right now, but I did get it from Dom, Danny's husband. He's from my hometown, so I thought it'd be like nice to support before she started getting crazy. I did buy this like 3 weeks ago.
Whoa. Okay. Well, this is your first time on Reality Realness. Well, then welcome. Make sure you subscribe right down below. Do it. We're all about reality. Talk. We're all about reality TV and all the gossip that goes along with it. And today is Gossip Saturday. So we are just going to talk all the hot gossip and just pretty much moan and complain about Janelle's exit this week. And the live feeds, we're probably going to talk a lot about Franzel and her nasal voice. And yeah, we're basically just going to shoot the shit about this week and what we think is going on with the season, how we think it's going. Maybe we might bring out a little bit of predictions as to what we might think might be happening for maybe a few important players of the game. Yeah, we're just going to do a little bit of chit chat. So who has a hot topic that we want to talk about first?
Should we start with the Middle Eastern comment?
I didn't hear this, so yes, we should.
Okay, have you heard about this, Brazil?
No.
So today, I think it was today, it was a group of people in the HOH room. I know for a fact that Bailey was there, Devon was there, Enzo was there, Danny was there. And Cody for sure. So no one else was there. I'm not positive. These are the people who are about this story.
Oh, it's like 6, or did you say Tyler? I don't remember.
Tyler might have been in there, but I haven't seen him on the videos that I've been seeing. He might have been in there. But what happened was they were talking about power of veto and all of that. And Enzo then said, they're probably going to make, and this isn't word for word, they're probably going to make the veto tomorrow, something to make Middle Eastern food for Kesar to win.
Wait, what?
What the fuck?
Wait, they're going to make the veto some Middle Eastern food so that Kesar could win?
Yeah, they're talking Enzo. It was Enzo who has not been problematic this season yet. He was the one who said that. And from what I'm saying, Devon, unfortunately, was the only one who laughed at it. Danny did stay straight-faced from what I saw. And then Bailey started talking about a rice that he put in with a lot of salt earlier. But it started with Enzo saying that the veto will probably be making Middle Eastern food tomorrow, so Kesar can stay.
It's going to go over well.
I mean, okay.
I don't think that they even realize what they're saying when they say it, but which is, I don't know if that's worse. It's
I mean, none of us have been in that house, so I guess we don't know about if you actually do forget that there's cameras, but it's like.
But I just feel like that's not even something I would ever even think to say.
So what are your guys' thoughts on that?
It sucks because like right now it's kind of like, Enzo's been pretty like the goofy kind of like goofy uncle that like he's my winner pick at this point to win. Like I want him to win up until really this. I don't necessarily think that Enzo's a bad person. He is older and like this is an excuse a little bit just around like people's tolerance. The younger generation definitely has less tolerance for good reason, but for kind of racial discrimination and anything like that. It is right now everybody's very sensitive, and it's a very hot topic.
Very true.
I don't necessarily think that Enzo is a racist person, but I think he may have had old kind of upbringing and programming and things that is allowed to be said in his maybe friend group as to that being okay. And he doesn't realize that, especially on a national television show, that even though it's not appropriate at all, that this is definitely not the audience for you to be sharing that kind of humor with.
And I think, not excusing his response, but he is so fed up with being HOH. He's never been HOH before, and all he's been doing is griping about it and saying how over it he is, and everyone's pissing him off. And so I think he's just kind of, I don't know, probably not in the right mindset, but yeah, I don't think, that's unfortunate, but
I don't know.
I think he's just, I think he's not Enzo that we know and love right now.
I mean, he's not that deep, not that woke, you know what I mean? So it's a bit of a pass. I think that, you know, once he gets a little bit of backlash, once he comes out of the house, or if he says anything else further into the game, you know, he's going to deal with his prejudice or his bad sense of jokes when he comes out of the house. I'm just really kind of disappointed that it came from him, because right now, as him, and I'm not even rooting for Bailey anymore right now. She disappointed me when I don't know if you guys saw this the scene, but Kaser was talking in the bathroom with Davon and Bailey, and I don't find he was being aggressive at all. Like, he's being like really like, you know, once me and Janelle are gone, you guys are the next couple that are up next. You might feel that you're insulated into this group, but they're still calling the shots, and you are one of the shots on their list. Like, it has to be that way. Like, it's I can see it. This is how it is. And so he's really just trying to like make them see what's going on. And it was in the same time frame, but it wasn't in the same clip that I watched. But Bailey was like saying to her how much like, you know, Janelle ruined my entire game for the fact that she said that she always had my vote, and like she didn't have my. So like, I'm not telling you if I have your vote, you're not good for my game. And she's like being quite rude, I thought, about it. And like, I personally feel if I was campaigning and like my best friend in the house was like, you can't say that I'm planning on voting for you when you're trying to get the votes. Like, I think that that's a bit, it's not the way I play the game. And Janelle plays the game loyal. If this is who I'm coming for, this is my team. We're coming to attack. We're coming to play. We want our enemies. Come and meet us here, you know? And obviously Bailey and Davon and pretty much everybody in the house played very scared. But like, I was like, she basically was telling Kaser that him and Janelle have ruined their game, and she doesn't plan on even not voting to keep him, most likely, but like, even if she was, she doesn't want to tell him, because she doesn't want him to be using that as a bargaining chip for people for getting other people's votes.
Well, and I think a lot of it comes back to Danny still blaming her vote on Bailey. And I think Bailey, because everyone keeps asking Bailey, like, are you the rogue vote? And now no one believes that it wasn't Bailey, and Bailey's getting pissed off. So I think that's also adding to her frustration, which is kind of fucked up. But I knew that Danny's whole reasoning for doing that was to either blame it on Davon or Bailey. So
my impression earlier because I haven't been able to be on live feed today, or the past couple days, unless it's sporadically here and there. My impression was that Danny admitted she was one of the votes to keep.
Last night, she was blaming it on Bailey. Wait, what? Even last night in the HOH to Enzo, she's full on blaming it on Bailey, and they're like, "Why can't she just admit to it?" Da, 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 da.
What happened though? A couple of days ago is that she and Cody was asking Cody, like, do you want to do something, like, do you want to play, I don't remember the wording that she used, but basically, do you want to do something sneaky, like, are you like boring, or are you fun? Like, basically, if you're fun, you will throw a hinky vote with her. And then I don't think she said whether or not she's going to blame it on Bailey and Davon, but that was her intention. She's like, let's do it. And Cody was like, absolutely not. Like, I'm not going to do that. And so she did that, and she's been lying to everybody's face, obviously, about it. And even her and Enzo have been having conversations, being like, "Oh, who do you think it is?" Like both of them to each other. I'm just like, I don't mind actually that Enzo did it because like he didn't tell anybody that he did it. Like he hasn't been really pointing any fingers from what I thought, from what I'm seeing anyways. Of two things has done it, but the fact that Danny is doing it, and when she was doing it with her smug smile in the diary room, like I was so pissed off, and like the fact that she wants to use it to pin on like the two black girls in the house, like it just is bothersome.
No, that's not okay at all. But and everyone saw it coming too.
And so yeah, I think that's I think Bailey's probably getting like, for me, one of like the things that piss me off the most is when someone thinks I'm lying when I'm not. And that would piss me off to no end, knowing that like I actually did go with the house, but I was still kind, well, to some degree, towards Janelle. But then now I'm getting blamed for it now, and that they're just gonna use it as an excuse to get her out because they think she's lying. Well, they can't trust her.
And
I want what I read earlier because it was Danny saying to someone why she voted the way she did for Janelle. So maybe on our next thing I'll update on what I read because I saw it somewhere on Twitter today.
As far as I've seen so far, is like everybody's like, why isn't she just admitting to it? Why isn't she like, they are saying that they know it's her and just won't admit to it.
Well,
I think that
on my phone, otherwise I'd be like Googling right now. I don't know.
well,
I can
as
see
far
her.
as I can tell, I think that this is actually probably the worst move that Danny's done so far for her game, because basically it's giving people in her alliance reasons to distrust her and reasons to target her and reasons to not feel bad about targeting her. Anytime I played these games, like I'm loyal to the soil, but as soon as somebody does me wrong, I'm like, okay, well, they've done me wrong at this point. So now I have a reason though that like I would be able to maybe go after them. You know what I mean? I'd be like, well, kind of all bets are off now. Like you lied to me, or all bets are off. Like you did something you said you weren't going to do, or whatever. So it just any bonds that we've had up until that point, I feel like they're garbage.
You know, the game I feel like David is trying to play right now too. Like he's just no, but it's not strategy. But he's like every time someone does him wrong, he's like, it's like you're gonna have no one in about 8 days.
He's not playing a game though. Like he can have like everybody's deciding what happens to him. He's not being an active piece in this particular game. So he can not care about anybody, but that just means that they're not going to be using him as somebody that they can maybe work with. He's just putting himself on an island until the larger alliance decide that it's his time to go. I don't really see him winning any competitions, even though he's like, I'm so excited to win my first competition in BB history. I'm like, I mean, maybe you'll win one, but I just don't feel it from him. Do you feel it?
So you two were just on a Love Island podcast, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so while you guys were on there, David was talking about Love Island. And he was saying that he hopes to be on it next summer. What he was hoping for, he's been working this past year and hopes to be on Love Island. And that's his goal. He also stated that he's getting paid for his participation for 3 months.
For Big Brother?
Yeah, he said that about 20 minutes ago. As while I was waiting for like the text, I was
like the 40 grand though that everybody else got.
And he's saying it to Tyler and Ian.
So he's getting extra, or?
And Ian, and I believe Tyler's on the couch. And I actually tweeted something about it right beforehand because I posted Keiser's face and Ian's face when he said it. That, he's like, well, I'm getting paid the 40K. I don't think he said the amount. He just said like the money, participation for 3 months. And then he tried talking game and he's talking about comp beast. And I think it was Tyler outside of the camera. And like, we got to do it. Let's do it. Like, I've been working out, but I was working out. It's just like this whole thing with him. And it's just like,
what's going on? Like, so I was watching many of my girl Janelle's videos, her exit press, and I was really depressed, but she was just so chill. She was just so like, I don't need this show to define me. She's like, and what I love the most is about, she's like, do you know what? I came back for the fans. And I was trying to play a game that the fans wanted to see. I wanted to make some big moves. And she's like, and unfortunately, I wasn't playing with Allstars. Like I played with people that would, maybe some of them have been on a few seasons, but I wasn't playing with Allstars. They're like, she's like, kids. And that's true. And like, I think that that's what the new school is all about. It's just like, you know, we've talked about it ad nauseum about the fact that like, you know, this big alliance and they don't want, and Bailey saying like, well, whatever the head of household wants, that's the rule and all this stuff. And, you know, Janelle in her interviews were saying like, she wanted it to be a 5-6 split. And like, you know, you don't know how the votes are going and shake things up. And, you know, like don't make things predictable and make it fun for the audience. She's like, you know, she's like, I mean, this is the game. This is the new school game. But she's like, it's not that interesting.
It's boring.
It's
so what do you
boring.
I mean, I think she came out of everything looking better than ever. I think we touched on this a little bit yesterday, but I know, I forget who said that they wanted her to have more of a reaction to leaving, but and you can either blame it on her thinking that she is going to come back in, so she wanted to like play it cool, but regardless of her intention, I think it just made her look better overall. It just made everyone else look petty. It made everyone else look like they're bullies, and they had literally zero reason for treating her the way that they did.
Absolutely. And she did say in some of her interviews, she's like, yeah, I wanted to rip Nicole's head off and make her cry. I really wanted to. But she's like, but I'm a mother. I got 3 kids. I'm above that. You know, like, and I mean, and I can understand that too. Like being like, man, if I was 15 years younger, I probably would rip you to shreds. But right now, like, I don't care enough about you, Nicole Francis, to like get unhinged. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, imagine Janelle, and it's just the comps that they're doing this season. They aren't normal comps. They are very crapshooty, all of them.
Which
almost.
is good for maybe shaking things up, but like these guys are just dominating.
And I mean, there's a photo going around with all the people who have won HOHs and vetoes. I'm sure you guys have seen it. And it's Memphis, Cody, Enzo. And it's Tyler. And you know that'll be more because it's Tyler. But at this point,
things that I feel like are geared towards males, aside from the first HOH round and the table maze, like that one. But I feel like it's frustrating because they should be, in theory, going either way. So I don't know what. It's not like the balls are so heavy, you know, for like the rolling.
Now, not gonna lie, that any of those kind of agility things is more of a male thing, though. Like, obviously lots of women play sports and play ball and whatever, but I would say men are more likely to be playing catch in a park than 2 women will be. And so just have familiarity with some of these materials, like rolling those balls. I don't even know if maybe Christmas was the only one that from that last HOH competition out of all the women that was even close, if I'm not mistaken. I have to see, we haven't seen it yet, so this is just what they've been talking about in the house, but it seemed like only the men really were having a shot of going to be the HOH in this particular competition. You know, even with the sliding one with Janelle almost won, all the women, none of them did well at all.
So close.
Oh, I know, don't even, it's just very unfortunate. Like if anybody else had won the first head of household, this whole game would be completely different. And I have a hot take here. I actually think that if Josh was in the house, the season might have actually been better.
I agree.
100% agree, and I would.
I think Josh would have loved to pair up with Janelle and Kaser. I think he would have lived for that, like just that whole dynamic, that drama, that, you know, he would. I think he would want to be seen as aligning with them and like be like the hot topic rather than, I don't know. I'm kind of sad Josh isn't in that.
But they also had a pregame alliance.
I know. I think the whole pregame thing is.
It could have almost been the same dynamic, but we don't know. Like, we'll never know.
Well, I mean, the reason why, like, I don't particularly enjoy Josh, but like, he's just another big flashy target, and mentions in some of her exit press that she was expecting there to be other huge targets here. Like if there was a Dan, if there was a Derek, like, you know, Danielle Reyes, maybe, like just these big players that have a legacy that like would be.
Diane was rumored for a bit. Like Diane was rumored for a bit. I feel like that would have been a fun. She also probably would have gone along with Janelle and Kaser though, with just getting her out. But she was rumored. Diane Henry from season 5. I'm sorry.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I think they
for her really, but I mean, I would always be team old school because I like the gameplay better. I love the drawing the line in the sand, and the fact that Tyler's even saying that like, oh, like the old school way of playing sucks, like it's because they don't like Big Brother. Like that's what Big Brother is. That's why we're obsessed with this game, is the games that these people that you think are boring played. Like I don't enjoy Tyler's game. I'm enjoying it more this season than last season. I'm kind of seeing him get out of tricky situations, and I'm decently impressed, and he's not in that main alliance, so like I don't hate him as much. But like this whole blob alliance thing, it's so obnoxious. I'm just like
vanilla. It's so vanilla. I mean, that's the best I can explain it. Like
our vanilla, Franzel and her vanilla, vanilla yogurt. Ew. I'm allergic to that's why I'm like, whenever I think of yogurt, I think of vomit. So, like, bleh, they all suck.
Well, something else you guys missed while you were doing this was Franzel, or maybe you didn't, maybe it was earlier, has now been saying the reason she wore her head in 2 buns on Thursday's episode was because Janelle was hogging the curling iron, Janelle's curling iron, her own, the entire day, and she didn't want to ask for it. So she just decided to put her hair in 2 buns instead.
Good for
what
you.
is that? She could have put it in 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. Why the fuck does that matter?
How about 1 ponytail? Just 1.
Like, don't talk about it. Another thing that I've been hearing that they've been bitching about poor Janelle. She's out of the house. You got what you want. But Janelle kind of alluded in her exit press that she left some of her clothing behind so that she would live, her memory would still live on in the house. So she was being a little bit petty, and I loved every second of it, by leaving some of her articles of clothing in the house. And she's like, I'll get it on finale night. And so now they're saying, so Danielle, I believe, saw Bailey wearing, I believe it was Janelle's star sweatshirt. And
it was the jacket, yeah.
It's like a jean jacket with stars.
Right. And so Danielle was saying that she thinks that Bailey stole it. Or she probably stole it.
It's funny because they also said that she left everything there because she assumed she was coming back. And then, but then they also said that she donated it to the house. So how can someone steal it if it's donated?
They're trying
to storyline, Danny. You're so annoying this season.
Just trying to villain Bailey now. She's the next target for them. Everyone thinks Day's going to be targeted first. I think it's going to be Bailey.
The girls want Bailey to go first. The boys want Davon to go first. Enzo has had it up to here with Davon.
The boys will win in that battle because there's more guys in the house. So
he even said last night, he's like, I know they all want Bailey to go first. Not they all, but he said Nicole. They were all talking about each other's target essentially, and like also like, so if Cody wins HOH, he has a target, but there's also someone that he wouldn't put up. So they all have these rules, and so each person is like assigned. Like if you're HOH, like you're assigned that person. So Nicole wants Bailey. They said they don't know about Danny, which is alarming. And then Davon wants David. Just like all these things, and Cody said, Bailey left the room, and then Cody and Enzo were talking. They're like, dude, we fucking love Bailey. Like she's chill. She's not in here asking like, what are you gonna do if the veto's used? Like she's not stressing out. I tell her something, she just does it. She, like she's not like arguing.
He's definitely a better ally, I think, to have in the house. I wish that
said, he's like, I know the girls want it, but I'll tell them straight to their face, no, she's staying. So like the boys want Bailey there, but Davon they want out when it's opposite for the girls. So
Davon needs to go, in my opinion. I mean, to be honest, right now I've decided, well, depending on who wins the veto, if it's not somebody that is going to use it to take off Kaser, which is basically only Kaser, I mean, maybe you can convince Ian to do it, but like, I don't know. But
Ian wants a job though. Like if Ian's thinking about his career future, then have you guys seen that clip going around? Oh, there's a clip going around where before Janelle or Kaser were either evicted, it's Cody, Ian, and someone else in the hammock. And Cody saying he could use Janelle for a job, and Ian saying, well, he could use Kaser for a job. Like maybe I'll like give me a job. Like I'll keep you, give me a job. So that was something also.
I'm sure he would. Like, I mean, they're painting Janelle and Kaser to being these horrible people, but they actually just want to play a game by the rules that they know that the audience enjoys and that they've experienced like multiple times in the house. I thought it was pretty epic though that Janelle left on her 200th day in the house. I was like, that's so cool. Like that was such a round number, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's why I don't want to see her come back. Like she left on, even though she left third, like she left on such a high note in regards to like fandom and how everyone views her.
Well,
I think
she said though that she would go back if it was like a legend season with like actual legends, and if it was like a month max long. And so kind of like celebrity Big Brother that they've had is just like 3.5 weeks or so. And so she said that she would participate, something like that. But she said the 3-month thing, she's had her fix, she's had enough. She knew coming into this game that it was going to be very difficult for her to make it very far. Now, then knowing that she's going to be working with Kaser, having to navigate the two of them was also really challenging. She's like, she might have been able to do better on her own if she didn't have to kind of worry about her standing with Kaser and them looking as a duo. And the fact that there's obviously not any other big flashy target. So she's like, she knew that it was going to be very difficult for me, but she also just really didn't know how like inexperienced and not good game players the rest of the house was. They're not good game players.
even Nicole Francis said today she's had more free time in this house than she's had in any other house.
She doesn't have to do anything.
Like one, she doesn't have to do anything, and she's like, yeah, everyone's just so mature this season. Like I don't have to go run around and defend myself. I'm like, because one, Danny's doing that for you. Danny's literally like everything she's doing, like setting up Bailey, like saying she wants Bailey out, like all these things is because it's also in Franzel's interest. So Franzel isn't having to really do anything. And that's one thing that Cody talked about last night. He was like, we already bent over backwards and got rid of Janelle for Franzel specifically because she was uncomfortable with Franzel. So now when she wants to get rid of Bailey and we're not going to do it, we're not going to backdoor her this week. Like, we're not going to do it. Like, she needs to understand that this is like a two-way street. Blah, blah, blah. So they even see that she's not doing anything. She's not winning any comps. She's just.
I hate her so much. I'm sorry. I don't really usually hate anybody, but like,
No, she's
not someone that likes anybody that uses emotional manipulation. I think that it's really unfair. The tactic is very slimy to me, and I feel like people just allow her to do that. You know, the fact that
enable her,
exactly. The boys. You knew that it might be better to keep Janelle in the house because she's a target. People are going to go after her, and she'll go and take out Franzel for them. Like, it's better for their game, but they didn't want to deal with the repercussions of Franzel's mood swings, like her crying. They didn't want to deal with that. Like, that is just, it's their gameplay, and people are like, oh my God, she's a good game player. And like, okay, I could say, yeah, she knows how to get to her end, and she uses her own strategies to get to the end, and it works for her. But I think it's just so gross. Like, it's just so not my style of gameplay. And even Janelle was saying it in her interview, I'm like, we would play so well together, because she's like, she just doesn't like her gameplay. And I just don't like her gameplay. And I just don't want to see the value in it because I hate it. I hate her gameplay.
I mean, you can look at her gameplay and say, I respect it. Like, what do you respect about it? Tell me. Give me 5 things. But for anyone, I've never heard someone say that they really respect her gameplay.
Well, Nick did yesterday. Okay. Well, he basically says that, like, you know, she knows how to get to the end. Like, she works her angles and she knows, like, her strengths and, like, uses it. And, like, she, you know, gets people in to protect her. And so, like, she does it. But the tactics that she used, I don't agree with. Like, I don't feel her honorable. I don't feel her worthy of $500,000. Like, I just don't. You know, even like I know that she probably likes Ian to a certain extent, but then I feel as though you know, they only made that alliance with him just to keep him close and keep him in the dark and like filter information to him. Like, you know what I mean? It was a part of a manipulation thing. Yeah, good tactic, because obviously you want to bring somebody in that might be taken to the other side that could, you know, like ruin your game. Yeah, cool. But like how she does it, like knowing that Ian kind of has a crush on her, and like, I don't know. I just don't like that kind of gameplay.
So something you guys also missed was she about 20 minutes before we started went up to the HOH, a disaster. It was Danny, Enzo, Cody, whatever, those people that would be up there. She came in freaking out saying, I'm so stressed, because Tyler, I guess, made a comment to her about how America might not have taken it correctly, her goodbye message to Janelle, when she said, like, you know,
No shit.
yeah, like Janelle doesn't give a fuck about going to her wedding, but her things. And I guess Tyler made like an offhanded comment, just as normal people would do.
Yeah.
But as Buzz Frizz would, which is just like, I'm so stressed, Danny. I came to you to make me feel better. And Danny's like, why? What happened? And she's like, Tyler said that America might not make it very good if I said that to Janelle, because you know how sometimes they ask for the last word. So they'd make my DR the last word, and then Janelle would say, it's so annoying. So Vic, please don't tweet any of my tweets, like delete things. I'm trying to be nice. So
another thing I just need, I mean, like, that just sounds exactly like something that would happen to her. And like, she's probably like kind of put the target on Tyler right after Bailey and Davon and David and Kevin are gone. Like, Tyler's on the outs there. That's the 8 white people.
well, they're like, well, I feel bad because I feel like I put pressure on you to do it. Now it's like Nicole, like everyone babying her again. Now she's a victim for her trying to do something.
She's a
Villain,
PhD.
which failed, but
PhD and victim. You called it, girl. She sucks. I'm not into the victim mentality at all. And now one thing that I clocked that she'd said is that Victor doesn't like to cuddle. Now,
until
she said when she grew up, her parents had to wean her off of cuddling with dogs, and she's going to marry someone who doesn't like to cuddle. I find that hard to believe.
Well, no, I mean, I believe that he doesn't like to cuddle, but I think that when someone doesn't like to cuddle is because they have intimacy issues with that particular person, because it's a natural desire to want to be close to somebody that you are in love with. And so, you know, Victor's being like, she's the love of my life. Like, don't talk to her this way online. Like, she's, you know, she's going to be the mother of my children, all these tweets. And I'm like, but you won't hug her? Like, I mean, maybe he hugs her, but he won't cuddle with her? Like, it just...
I don't know about that, because if you watch them, like in their defense back in BB-18, he was very touchy and feely with her and stuff. And
but I'm just saying that this is what she's saying. He doesn't cuddle.
Okay, you're right.
Like, I'm just saying, like, Nicole said he doesn't like to cuddle. And if someone does, like, if she's saying that he doesn't like to cuddle, like, I would think that he doesn't like to cuddle. You know what I mean? Maybe he's touchy feely, but
like not as much as she likes to cuddle, because it sounds like she needs like therapy for cuddling. I don't.
Which is
oh no, I'm just thinking that he has brainwashed himself into thinking that he actually likes her, and feels a little bit guilty. You know, like,
where is he from originally, where he was okay with moving to a town of only 800 people?
I don't know, but it's the same. Whatever happened when he cut out his hair, like it all went downhill.
Yeah.
To be cute, I was like, oh, you know, Victor's cute. And then like when he came in for the proposal with the cut hair, I was like,
he was hot, sexy. Now he's like, you also look like vanilla ice cream, and that's boring.
They were looking at all the, or she said like a week ago maybe, she was like, I forgot what Victor looks like, and they were like, there's pictures of him everywhere. She's like, he doesn't look like that now. He looks so much better now.
It's better? No.
Because I guarantee you, she was like, yo, that long hair, like in this 800 person town in the middle of nowhere, ain't gonna cut it.
Oobly.
So he's a cop in that new town?
Sorry.
I think he's a Michigan State trooper, so it's not for the town necessarily. It's for the state.
Oh, he works for like the police department or state.
It'd be for the state, not the.
I did not know
it's state.
One thing also that was really interesting, and I want to hear you guys' take on this, is that Kaser's actually always been evicted before Janelle. And so Kaser has an opportunity to stay longer than he's pretty much ever stayed before. Now, without him winning the veto, what do you think his chances are of maybe making it to jury?
0.
10%. I'm giving him a bit of percentage that Kevin. Are we doing spoilers?
Yeah.
Okay. So I hoping that one Kaser wins a veto. If he does not, I'm giving it 10% for Kaser because Kevin might blow up his game if he acts as sporadic and messy as he has been playing to maybe sink his own game.
Wait,
and also,
if he wins veto,
Sorry?
do you think he'll get to jury?
Pardon?
Was the question if he wins veto, what's the percentage?
General.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just.
No. So I was like, well, yeah, no, never mind. Keep going. Sorry.
No. And it gives Kaser another week. So at that point, I feel he's been kind of close to win. Like he almost won this past one, I think.
Like an endurance wall comp or something now. That's what they thought it was going to be this week. Like,
well, it's so it's going to be endurance, I think, coming up.
And Danny's going to probably win it. You know what I mean?
I think Christmas will.
For Christmas, yeah, she's small.
But they want Christmas to win because they want Christmas.
Well, Christmas wins though. Kaser would be safer.
But Davon and Bailey are gone. Or one of them.
At this point, like I was rooting for them hardcore. Like I was surprised as how much I wanted them to do well in this particular game. Together, I want Black Girl Magic to be happening. I wanted them to be siding with Kaser and Janelle and get like the underdog team to go and attack and have a chance and like build a name, build a legacy for themselves, like show up like Allstars, and they are just all flops. It's just a flop after a flop, and then just getting mad at people that are trying to play a friggin' good game. They're trying to
because
make
this alliance, like this is the way I see it. This big alliance went in almost annoyed of everyone else in there. Like, why are you here? Like, this is our home. This is our game. Like, what are you guys doing here? And they went in with just, well, first of all, it's going to be these two. And then we can go from there. And anyone who's not in this vanilla white person alliance is just a random visitor in their house. And they're not even respecting them. They're acting annoyed when people try to come and talk to them.
All of them are acting like they already won the game almost. Like none of them are worried about
anything.
No. Like none of them are having to scramble and they're like mocking the people that are.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's
and what also I find really, really annoying too is that Davon goes up and has a meeting with Enzo, and I don't remember who else was in the room, but she's talking about she's like, so why Kevin and not David?
Yeah, Bailey and Cody.
Pushing for Kevin, like Kevin, like he'll work with us and whatever. Like she's putting in so much effort and her game on the line for Kevin, and she couldn't do it for somebody that actually would have been helpful for your game. You know?
Nope.
And she's blinded by David wronging her, and that's all they're seeing it as, is like a kind of a selfish request to get rid of David because she wants David gone because of what happened last week, and they're already tired of hearing that from Franzel. So now they're like, we can't have this from two people.
So why do you think they are all scared of Franzel? Honestly, like why do you think none of them?
I don't even think they're not even scared of Franzel. They're scared of Danny. But Franzel's not even doing anything. Franzel's not really even up in the HOH room. Like she's literally just staying in that purple room with Ian and Kevin, and that's what one of them clocked. One of them clocked the Tyler. Like she's banding with the outsiders. That way she's safe if any of the outsiders like become HOH. And so I think it was only Tyler that clocked that, but it's true.
I get scared when women cry. They don't like it. They don't know what to do. And that's part of her game strategy, is to be like, take care of me, damsel in distress, guys don't like to see me cry, so they're gonna make sure that I don't cry, and blowjobs, I guess, is what.
So get her at week 1, and then you'll never have to see her cry.
I don't know if she's actually doing any favors in this particular house. This season, you think?
No, not this house. The past ones.
I wouldn't be surprised, you know, if she had some long-term.
It's on video.
I mean, isn't that all Frankenbite, like, clippity, mixing match?
No. Watching feeds with Franzel and with Corey in 18, it was constant.
Oh my God, stop. Ugh. She's not sexual to me at all. So what do you think about, though, in Janelle's exit press, she talked about how she doesn't think that she'd be friends with Danny after the show.
Makes sense.
Me too.
Going into this, I thought I would want to be friends with her outside. I've always thought that. And then after, I don't know if she'd be like this if she was paired with anyone other than Franzel. I'm not sure. But I think her and Franzel kind of bring out the worst in each other, for sure.
And what we're seeing is within them. It's not just within this game. We've seen, like, we've liked these snarky kind of qualities of Danny beforehand when she was the underdog or she was working with people that we actually liked. But as soon as, like, we can see that we don't actually like her game style if she's not on the side of the people that we like. Now, I can't imagine Janelle being on the side of, like, she's always on the side of the people that I like. So I don't see that she could ever do any wrong in that sort of way. But I just learned that I didn't actually like Danny and her gameplay. I think it just, like, I've liked the circumstances that she's been in and how she's interacted within those.
Well, but she's been like an underdog, and now she's a mean girl, but she's not.
That's terrible.
She's being season for no reason. Like, she's just being mean. And it's not gameplay. It's every time we click on the feed with her or Nicole or just Danny with anyone, she's trashing someone.
That's what I was saying yesterday, that it was nothing game related. It's like trashing their character, kind of like, yeah.
You guys hear what Janelle said, though? She's like, you know what? Like, I want Danny to win. I want her to win this game. She doesn't seem like she has much going on work-wise, and she probably needs the money.
Fucking Janelle.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like going on with her work life. Like, she needs the money. That's the best way to drag her.
That's why we all love Janelle, because even though that's her, like, enemy, she'll...
Actual
It's Arizona. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to Janelle.
It's from the
she also said, she's like, yeah, David's an all-star. He should not be on this season. He should be on a newbie season. And that's another thing too, that it's very frustrating with how this whole season has been going, is that I don't think that people are at the caliber of playing with Janelle, so they don't know how to use her as a playing piece. It's kind of like, I don't know how to use this. Okay, let me get to only play with the pieces I understand and know how to play with. It's too dangerous to have somebody that, like, might be playing better than me. Let's get rid of her. You know what I mean?
Tyler should have, this is one flaw in his game so far this season. Tyler should have kept her because she is always going to be a bigger target than Tyler. Once she leaves and then all the white people start realizing, oh wait, Tyler, they're going to go after him. He's going to be probably the first member of jury or close to it without keeping big targets in front of him.
Well, he came to that realization absolutely before Janelle left, but he was also scared of the Danny, the Franzel. Cody, Franzel, like all of it, like all of it stems like, well, you know, if we do that, it looks like we're doing that to Nicole. Like, it looks like, you know, we are going against Nicole here. And like, that was always their rationale when they're coming back to it. Like, if we don't take out, it looks like we're making an attack against Nicole here. And so she instilled enough fear in them, or like discomfort. They don't want to go against her.
You had the conversation, right, about getting Ian out and how
when they were in the bathroom.
It was in the HOH, and Enzo was talking to Cody, saying Enzo kind of wanted to, you know, backdoor Ian to get Ian out. And Cody's like, Well, you know that would upset maybe our alliance. It'd upset Nicole because that's her shield. So you're gonna upset her because Ian's her shield. And I'm sitting here like, that's why you should get him out.
That's what they were all talking about, how they each have their own restriction, they each have their own like shield, they each have, and I'm like, this can like, you can abide by those rules for maybe this week, and then once Pacer's gone, you guys are all fucked because one of your shields gonna have to go, like someone in your side alliance is gonna have to go, and they're all waiting, and they're gonna throw it. If it's Ian or Christmas up there, they're gonna throw it to one of those two.
Pisses me off.
Just so that way they can get out who they like. I don't know. I don't like that.
I mean, if Christmas gets it, I'm not sure. She'll put up probably David and Kevin.
Like,
no, I think she wants. Oh wait, yeah, she'll put up Bay and Day. Sorry, I was thinking that we're saving Kaser here. Sorry.
well, she is trying to be Kasar's next right now, but I don't know how much she's actually passionate about that. I think she just wants the title. But she's trying really hard to like get on Kasar's good side right now and be now. She wants to be the next.
She was like talking to Enzo about like noms and whatever, like, and he's like, who would you rather go? She's like, well, I honestly don't mind Kaser. I don't think that, like, you can tell she was like downplaying like their relationship, but she was saying that she'd rather him stay because he won't be able to win any comps, etc. Blah blah blah. And then but that was like all she kind of said about him. But she's the only one that made a case for him. Even Bailey didn't. Devon didn't. They all were like talking shit about him campaigning.
I'm tired of Bailey and Devon shit talking Kaser. Like I'm tired of. Well, everybody, but also that, because what they were doing was for their benefit. It was for if them being there is better for their game. It's undoubtedly better for everybody's game except for Nicole Franzel, most likely.
And it's so frustrating because I think we all thought Slick 6 was going to be a joke, and we all thought that they all thought that it was a joke, but now it's kind of coming to fruition in a sense.
Well, it's still they don't care about it. They're going up on the block next week, but they get to have people
that they don't know that. I don't think they know that. I think Bay and Dave feel pretty safe. And
I'm saying that's why like they don't know that it's a joke. Yeah. Like they're just using that so that they don't feel like they're alone. It's the same thing that they did to Ian. As soon as Ian potentially could be pulled in by Kaser, they made it a little alliance with him so that he feels like he's part of something, and so that he doesn't need to, like, he's not desperate. He's not a man on his own. And same with Bay and Day. As soon as it looked like maybe they were going to have some numbers there, they're like, let's make this like 6 with Bay and Day so that they feel that they have an alliance, that they have somebody that's supporting them, that they're in the know, that they, you know, they have the numbers. And so it's smart, obviously, on the big alliances part, but it's very, very, their reads are so off to not realize that they aren't dictating what.
Well, and why would they think that there would be a big alliance with Danny and not Franzel? Why have none of them questioned that?
They're not questioning.
Doesn't know about Slick 6. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Danny and Franzel are attached to the hip 24/7. How are you not weirded out that she's not in Slick 6? Come on.
I would ask that question if I was in that alliance and be like, so what about like Danny, do you tell Franzel everything? That's what I'd ask her.
Yeah. And the boys know that Franzel knows and they're pissed about it, but it's like, how do Day and Bay not question that?
Because they're not good game players. We want them to be better gamers than they actually are.
Yvonne has intuition, but she never knows how to work that intuition into gameplay. She takes it and she works it out and works on right that moment. She doesn't take that and be like, all right, what's the long game? She never does that.
Well, she does get the long game, but then she went with her looking at the long game, she ruins everything she has in the moment. Right. So she's looking at final options, but she's not looking at what's going on right now. Like, final 3, you're not getting to final 3 because you're next on the chopping block.
And like even I think this morning Bay and Day were talking in the bathroom, and Day's like, how do I approach this situation, like with Kevin or David? And Bay was like, I think just play it cool. Like if Bay's being her voice of reason constantly, like if Bailey thinks she's being too crazy, then I think she needs to tone it
Well,
down.
also though, Davon is like second guessing Bailey. I'm just like, I can't.
And that's
like,
why that's the one that I think that's her biggest downfall, and that's like what Enzo was pissed about last night. Is he's like, she doesn't trust us. Like, she keeps questioning me. He's like, bro, you're safe. Like, don't ask me about this all guys alliance. Like, you're in an all guys alliance except for Bailey. And well, he said like they're in an all guys alliance, but they're really not because there's 3 girls, 3 guys. But yeah, and so I think if Bailey, that's one thing Bailey doesn't do. She doesn't question them when they're HOH, and that makes them like Bailey more because it shows that Bailey trusts them, which makes her more valuable to them. So when they are like using a fine-tooth comb, figuring out who to get rid of next, like, oh, Day doesn't trust us, gone.
I feel like that pretty much everybody that's playing the game is reactionary. They do not set in motion moves that is going to be benefit for their game. They wait for people to strike and then they decide to react. They don't even retaliate. They react and they cower and they hide and they cling. Like, and they question and they fear. Like, they're not action takers. They don't create their own destiny. They don't figure out what they need to get to the end. They just are hoping that they just get one step forward and then maybe eventually they'll get some power. Like, they are not making moves that A, makes them an all-star, B, that makes them even a winner, and B, that's not even gonna get them to jury necessarily.
It's because of the pregame alliance. They have nothing to worry about. They have those exact numbers. They've been on calls for 3 months. These, like, why Memphis go in acting like he knows Cody so casually without it being like, tell me about your life, this, that. It was like, hey, what's up? Like, why would Memphis and Cody know each other? Memphis has been out of the Big Brother scene since season 10. Cody came first on 16. There has to be there's all of this information. And it was so casual for all of them.
No, absolutely. We know that there's a pregame alliance. And so that's why I think it's just so dumb that the people, when they had the opportunities to have the numbers, they were just so ready to just ignore the facts that were that was just floating in their face. And they were just willing to just drink the Kool-Aid of the Janelle Kaser hate and get out the only people that could potentially thwart this major alliance, this pregame alliance that started from however long ago. And so
don't know about it. Janelle knows now because she went out and it was like this, and she thought,
I would be able to tell that I was not making the decisions. You know, when people tell you who to vote for, as opposed to being like deciding with people, this should be our target. They're not deciding who's the target. They are just saying, okay, that's the way the vote is going. And
well,
so
depending on who's HOH, they each have figured out who they'll target. They each have figured out who, like, guaranteed is not going to be an option for them during that week. And so it's almost like this whole season is scripted already.
Oh yeah, it's done. I mean, sorry?
Boring. Yawn.
I'm like, I feel like this pretty. I actually tweeted earlier. I feel like we've been waiting so long for an All-Stars, thinking it was going to be amazing, and it was done 3 months ago before any of us knew it was But Chantele, I did throw 3 cards down while we were talking. If you kind of want to look.
What was your like for what?
I was just shuffling, and I was saying for all Big Brother.
You didn't have a thought as to what you're pulling the cards for?
No, I was saying, how's this Big Brother experience gonna go for everyone? Like, what are we thinking? And then 3 cards. I started with.
Okay, so a lot of work and it's gonna be fucking boring. Seeds planted. Okay.
Workmen with second.
Lies, betrayal, like mind manipulation. Okay.
Passion, pain.
That's 2 7.
Believe it or not, out of all cards, the first card.
The Fool? Yeah, they're all fools. That shows me that it's going to be a game that's going to be won by somebody new school. That's going to be somebody that is a little bit naive.
That's green.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think the first 2 cards were 7s, correct? Like it was 7 of Pentacles, 7 of Swords. So, I mean, that's interesting as well. 7s generally, if it was 7 7 7, that'd have been interesting. But
first Allstars was season
7. And this is like almost 14 years later.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy actually.
Okay, well, let me see what I want to pull. Let me see what the fate. I believe in my heart that Kaiser's going this week, but
I think he will too. They're scared of him, but they don't know why. None of them watch.
Swords,
Oh,
man.
What is that? I don't.
Nine of Swords, any swords card about thoughts. It's usually this one is like, the thought.
That was Ian's card.
What?
That was Ian's card that you guys pulled for him.
Was it Ian?
Yeah.
It's 9 of Swords. Ian was the 10 of Wands, I think it was.
Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry.
no, he was the one with the.
Sorry.
So this is usually like the nightmare in your mind is worse than actually maybe okay. Maybe spin this. Maybe I'll think of this as a better card than actually is because sometimes it talks about the nightmare in your head is worse. Like what you make up is worse than what your actual reality is. And so maybe I am making up that things are not going to go as well as they are going to go for him this week. But my first instinct when I see this card, I think of it, it's a negative card for him.
Well, it's a lot of realization in that card. It's kind of confronting your demons, the way I see it.
This could be his despair too, that he's like his thoughts, his overplaying, his not learning to how to adapt with this particular season. Like I know that we wanted him and Janelle to get together and make this powerful alliance and like divide and conquer, but he also needed to be a little more adaptable and realize that like the pieces that he's playing with are different than the ones that he was playing with before, and maybe shift his tactics a little bit better and learn how to maneuver with this new school group of people and realize that reason is not necessarily the way to get to them. He has to find a different way to connect with them. So maybe this is also him succumbing to his thoughts and that he's not going to make it out this week. That yeah.
And it's the first time without Janelle in the house.
Ever. Well, and I actually pulled one randomly, and it's kind of making me laugh.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, the 10 of Pentacles.
Yeah.
10 of Pentacles is usually like talks about like everything kind of in completion, family. Like you have like your finances and your family. Everything's good. I can't tell what that is.
Oh, it's the two people seeing each other and going into the home with the pentacles with the dog.
Rabbit.
So, I don't think everybody's gonna live happily ever after this one. So I don't know what that card means. But somebody's gonna win, and he's gonna do something for their family, I guess.
Reverse.
Reverse, I mean, that's blocked energy. I know, I mean, obviously someone's going to win. 10s are new beginnings. Pentacles are all about finances in the material world. So this is a new beginning, a new opportunity for somebody for sure. They're going to be able to use the finances that they gain from winning this to provide a foundation for their family. And they're going to, most likely have a foundation of prosperous journeys going forward. So it is going to be a great season for somebody. It just won't be the person that I want it to be.
So, okay, maybe wrap it because you have something to do, right, Chantele?
Yeah.
So maybe we can end with like, who's our winner pick?
Who's our winner pick?
Like,
how are you doing?
What do you mean?
Like, just say like our winner pick.
Just in general, or we're talking about cards?
We could pull a card for each.
I'm gonna do it quick then. Let me see. I'm just gonna pull cards quickly and then just put them up, and then we'll kind of decide out of all of them. So who's gonna be our winner pick, universe? Okay. I didn't say anybody yet. So we'll do. Is Danny gonna be our winner pick? Danielle Donato. I'd say no. Queen of Pentacles in reverse, so it'd say to me that she's not winning. Good. Nicole Franzel.
Moon.
Ooh, that's a decent card.
Strength is not good.
I got
For who?
Nicole. I'm doing when you do.
Okay, Nicole. That's a pretty good card for her, but I don't think it's a winning card. 3s are things coming together. That's building something, building a foundation. So maybe that means final 3. Maybe
this is probably Victor's wedding, and then this is Janelle.
Janelle sending a really nice. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna send like something to the registry, like like I'll send her a nice gift. But anyway, my kids have a dance meet or cheerleading meet or something. Okay, Enzo, this is who I think is going to win at this point. Page of Cups, that's a pretty good card. It's kind of a new beginning, a new heart-based beginning, or messages of good fortune, like of good emotions, of good people, of love even. That's a maybe. So Enzo's up there and doing well, I would say. Oh, so that's a no then. So that's usually like fighting off other people. You know, you're
Card.
pardon?
He could get to your card with this card. Fight off other people. Find yourself. Get away from that green newbie.
Yeah, and get away from like all the catty people in your alliance, the other 6 people. Like get rid of Cody and get rid of Danielle and all that stuff. Who's that for? Is that for Cody as well?
It's just the one that was after, and it made me laugh because it's like all fighting.
It's their alliance, it's the committee or the commission or whatever. Okay, Cody.
Okay, Brazil.
Cody got 2 cards that came out. That one's kind of upside down.
I feel like this is gonna be a good card.
No, it's not.
Oh, I'm happy.
So that means he needs to get a new perspective. Not seeing things in the right way. He's not walking on the right path. He needs to maybe take some time and redirect his focus. And then the Knight of Cups, whenever I see reverse cards in general, means that there's going to be a block of some sort. So the Knight of Cups is usually with the Knight in shining armor, usually like, you know, love energy and chivalry and all that good stuff, but that's blocked. So I feel as though he's not going to have a good outcome here. It seems like he's going to get blocked at this point. Who's that 10 of Pentacles for? Cody?
I got it again twice in a row. And you can hear me.
I don't know. So you're saying Cody's going to win? That's a winning card.
I know, but we got it a little bit ago. You hear me shuffling too. Like I'm shuffling.
If he knocks Danny out, I wouldn't be mad if he won.
David, let's see what's going on with David. Is David going to win this game? How's his placement going to be? Nope. He is confined by his lack of knowledge, I'd say. Like his thoughts and his ideas of what's going on is a trap for him. You know, he's tied up, but like the ropes are loose. And so like he could actually get out, but it's like a self-imposed prison and he can't see and he can't move. And I think this is just showing his inexperience in the particular game. He thinks that he's actually like in a worse position than he actually is. He's in a very good position. And if he was a better game player, he could use it to
capitalize on it.
Absolutely. But that says that he's not going to win to me. Who else is there? Davon. Is Davon going to win this game?
Well, for David, I got this.
9
I think last 2 weeks ago too.
That's like a luck card. I do not see that card for him, but maybe. There's no way. No, none of them are going to give him the money. It's just not.
Yeah, but maybe it's like an emotional growth too. Like we're talking about them as, you know.
My question is, are they going to win this game? So.
Oh, okay.
This is Davon. So High Priestess. It's in reverse. And so that's obviously a block. Usually the High Priestess talks about like, you know, getting wisdoms from the divine, getting wisdoms from, you know, thoughts, ideas, like intuition. And so it seems for me that her intuition is blocked here and that she's not getting the right messages in order for her to facilitate her winning. I didn't pick anybody else. I'll do that one. What'd you get for her?
I stopped doing it because I'm not trusting my shuffles right now.
I mean, maybe I have my own desire for what's going to happen, and I do not want to see David win. So seeing the cups,
he's obviously not going to win, but I'm thinking it might be. What I took that as is the way we see him might grow to where we see him in a better light.
Not me. I can't imagine seeing him in a better light. Like he's just so.
No, meaning I'm just saying what I'm thinking with the cards.
I hear you. Bailey, how's Bailey gonna do here?
Good.
Oh, see that's your card again, but it's the 10 of Cups in reverse. So I mean, it's like, you know, usually would be a happy ending, but it seems like it's not gonna be a happy ending. But maybe she'll get it close. That's Bailey.
Yep, that's what I pulled.
not a good card. It's kind of similar to the eight of swords, being that she's not allowing her heart to guide her, and she has like tumultuous emotions that are behind her. So you know what? It could be because she's been really challenged by keeping her emotions at bay, and people are poking the bear, and she doesn't want to pop off, and she doesn't want to have any of these things. And so I think that she's a lot of inner turmoil that's going on right now, and I think that is not allowing her to effectively play this particular game.
And she's keeping Devon at bay, like constantly trying to tell her to calm down and not react.
Yeah. Well, and across she has the force of the swords on her, but it's how are you going to use those swords? You're blindfolded. How are you going to use that passion that you have?
Well, exactly. And like she's getting all this information and she's spreading it to the wrong people, and then she's not using her word is not being used for good, and the words that she's getting from other people are not being used effectively for good. So doesn't seem good for Bailey. So who
that was one of Tyler's that he said he would never put up, and that's Bailey. So that was Tyler's restriction.
That's good. Who else? Oh, Ian. Is Ian winning this game? What's going on with Ian?
Ian. Those both look good. I don't even know what they mean, but
this is the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups and the Magician. Those are pretty good. So Queen of Cups, obviously queens, they rule emotion. So that's interesting. And the magician means like your wishes, like what you if you put the intention up there, it's going to manifest. And so I feel like that combination is actually pretty good for Ian. So with that, then I guess the final three would be Franzel, Ian, oh my God. And who was the other person that was good? Who was the Page of Cups? Enzo?
Yes. I can see that final three.
Yeah, I can see that. Like replace Enzo with Cody or
full final two, Enzo winning.
Yeah.
Ian getting.
Did we forget somebody? Christmas.
Oh, whatever. Where's the broken?
And Memphis. Those are the two that are talked about the least. Like they know, like they want to get Memphis out during a double.
Christmas.
And Christmas they're not even talking about.
So that's a no for Christmas. Like she's involved in she doesn't even realize it, but she's involved in all the catty talks. And I think that she doesn't have a focus on actually how to win the game. And she's in her head about shit. She's not, focusing on what needs to be focused. Let's see Memphis quickly. Oh, the Queen of Cups in reverse. So I'd say no for Memphis, her. So, Chariot? I'd still say it's a no, because it's kind of like you're at a standstill and you have to choose.
Your lines are saying you think you're in power, you're not.
Exactly. He's not moving forward. He's just on the Chariot.
Well, that was it.
Our top three is Enzo. Oh man. I mean, Nicole and Ian. I can see.
So two winners and Enzo. And Enzo desperately wants both winners out. So that's very interesting.
That's how I'm looking at the cards, but
well, and Enzo will win. That's it against either of them in a final two. So
no one will vote for a winner again.
No. Enzo to the end, though, so he'd have to win that final three, which is what we've been saying all along.
Yeah.
Is like,
and he's been doing very well. So in the comps.
All right. Well, this has been super fun, guys. Like I like kind of gossip catch-up Saturdays. I think that works in the end. I think it's a good combo.
I think it's better than us doing like 3 hours of card pulling and everyone being like, we don't
mind doing 3 hours of card pulling, not gonna lie, but I think that we could do that for maybe we'll do it again for when we get to the jury phase and see
start jury, and then when it's maybe final four, we can do it and
we can do like little how things are looking with the energy right now.
Yeah, and we track from the very beginning and then see how it plays out. I think that'll be.
Yeah. So I mean, I still have them written down, and I guess I can also just watch the video again. Or actually, maybe I can get the video transcribed. That'll be easier.
New deck at my work. If it's there when I get in on my first day back Monday after the weekend, it's called Hunks card, Hunks and Heroes. So it's just shirtless men. I think I might use that next time.
Should I go find like another cool deck to buy? Okay, I'm gonna look for another deck.
it up.
Will do. Well, if anybody wants to find you guys online, Brazil, where can people find you?
At BabyZill on Instagram.
Ooh. And Nicole, for you?
At Nicole Quas on Twitter.
Perfect. And for me, you can find me at Fran, where there's a link in the bio. You can find all my social media links. And then obviously at Reality Realness with 3 S's. If you haven't done so already, subscribe down below. Hit that like button if you like what you're seeing here. If you have any questions, if you want us to have a specific card spread or some sort of poll, or if you want some insight into a particular player or whatnot, give us your ideas. We are more than willing to pull cards for whatever you want. That's Big Brother or any other reality TV kind of focus. So just do it. Ring that bell so you can get notified every time we get a new video up on our site, as well as when we go live. Any final thoughts? Or are we just saying adios? Ciao, ciao. Bye, guys. Bye.